Shalom, shalom, Yasharallah. I hope all is well. So we're going to read Jeremiah chapter 24 tonight. And before we do that, I just want to bring some breaking news, if you will. And that's about this Ocean Gate Titan sub. I think I may have talked about it a little bit in one of my last videos, but I had been thinking before I did any digging into it, I had been thinking that that was some kind of a bat signal. You remember how I used to tell you guys that the enemy communicates with each other, the enemies communicate with one another using sort of like bat symbols? Remember how I showed you that in the beginning of this tribulation, that what kicked it off for them after the great eclipse and the Revelation 12 sign that was saw on September 23rd, 2017 in the heavens, that what started it, what started this whole ball in motion was on a Delta flight. And how often you should remember all that I've brought to you regarding Delta. On a Delta flight, there was a man and a woman that performed a lewd sexual act on the plane in front of everybody. And on that same day, there was a popular, famous transgender person, a man wishing to be a woman, that was a huge, is known for his Trump support, and went to court that day for discrimination, whose name was Delta. And that started it all off. So when I saw this submarine thing, I seen Ocean Gate. And you know what we've been talking about? The whole strongest of strongholds, Gate 42, all that, right? So I looked up Titan. I looked into the name Titan a little bit, and I found this. This is the story of some cartoon anime thing that's called Attack on Titan. We'll see what it says. When man-eating titans first appeared, that's a reference to the Nephilim right there. Man-eating titans first appeared 100 years ago. Humans found safety behind what? Massive walls. They stopped the giants in their tracks, but the safety they have had for so long is threatened when a colossal Titan smashes through the barriers, causing a flood of the giants into what had been the humans' safe zone. Now, I'm not going to read any more of that. Go do your own due diligent research on that one. But I looked up, because that submarine, you should know, you probably know, went out to look at the Titanic. So I went and looked up what happened with the Titanic, and let's see what I found here. At 11:39 p.m. on April 14th, 1912, a young lookout named Frederick Fleet spotted an iceberg. His ship was headed straight for it. The Titanic made impact, and 2 hours and 40 minutes later, the boat had was lost to the ocean, forever. So he spotted the iceberg at 11:39. So at 11:40, 114, on 4/14, 144. Do you see that? Remember, I've been telling you that this is the attack, the dragon being wroth with the woman and the remnant of her seed, the 144,000. That's what this is about. But notice right there, 2 hours and 40 minutes later, how many people? 2,224. Here's Frederick Fleet, 24, the lookout who first spotted the iceberg. And here's the last mention of the 42 that I found it. These were initially unidentified survivors, Michael IV and Edmund Navratil II. Okay, so we read before in Revelations about the 42 months, right? And we talked about how from the time of the jab, that from the time the first jab was administered until it says until the end, if you count 42 months, you get to I think it was June of 2024, the summer of 2024 for sure, which is right after the eclipse. If you count 35 days from the time of the eclipse, you come to the time of the 1335 days. 1290 days is it's 42 months. That's 3.5 years. And look, if you read all into and I hope you do, to the story about the Titanic, and you think about this submarine, the Titan, this is all, it's just them telling you their script. It's called rules of engagement. They have to tell you what they're about to do. But also, Abba, he promises to tell you what he's about to do before he does it. He says, I tell my servants, the prophets, before I do anything. And look, you should know that he's walked with us. He's led us by our hands to where we are in his word at this given moment, at this minute in time. Even if you take, you could go and look up 42 months. If you went by years, that will take you to, that's 1176 years. In 1176, the Pope, which is part of the beast, the Vatican, was given their authority. I mean, I could go on and on about all this stuff, but I'm not gonna, because that'd be my own word. I want to bring to you the word of Abba Yahuwah, and I want you to do your own research. You turn your ears on and listen to what the word of the Most High has to tell you. We were just talking about the endurance, the wisdom that we've seen in Revelations. Right after that, he says that all those who survived sing the song of Moses and of the Lamb. And you can find that song in Deuteronomy chapter 31. We're not going to get into it tonight, but it's about returning to the land. Look, Mishpachah, you have to understand that everything we've been told about history is a absolute bald-faced lie. And I've proven it time and time again. Come try to prove me wrong about where the land is. I want you to. I'll be right here waiting. Come try me. And because I just love sharing the Most High's word and the facts. And the fact is that it's not where you've been told it is. That it's actually where I've been telling you it is. And the fact is that you have to return to that land. Try to prove me wrong on that. You won't be able to. So let's read Jeremiah 24, and then I'll let you go. I might play you the if you haven't seen I Pet Goat 3, maybe not, but you do need to watch it so you can kind of see what's coming, because it is part of the enemy script. Like I said, rules of engagement. They have to tell you what they're going to do before they do it. The only intentions I would have behind playing that for you is so that you see what's coming And you know where we are in this whole thing. We'll see. Let's just read this and we'll go from there. Verse 1, Yahuwah showed me, and look, there were 2 baskets of figs set before the Hakal of Yahuwah, after Nebuchadnezzar's sovereign of Babel had exiled Yachanyahu, son of Jehoiakim, sovereign of Yehuda, and the heads of Yehuda with the craftsmen and smiths from Jerusalem, and had brought them to Babel. And before I go any further, too, I do want to say this. This is something you probably don't realize. If you've been with me this whole time, for a long time, you might remember me talking when I first started this whole journey to the land. And we read about Zerubbabel. Do you remember that? And when I first started talking about it, felt like the Most High wanted me to go to Ezekiel and learn the measurements of the temple to rebuild the Hakal. Do you remember that? Well, when we read in Zerubbabel, I'm not going to go there tonight. I'm not going to take that much of your time, because the time that I am going to take up, you need to focus on Jeremiah chapter 24 tonight. 42, okay? But he said, I will bring the man who is to rebuild the Hakal back to the land from the land of the north. And we know all through Scripture where we've read, every reference of the land of the north is mentioning, it's referring to Babylon, the land of the Kasdim. And I've told y'all that I'm from Wisconsin. If you look on the map, ancient Babylon is in Quebec. If you look on Google Maps and you look at the Chaldeans, or do a Google map search of Chaldeans, America, and you're going to find Michigan. There's a town called Chaldean City or Chaldean Town that's in Michigan. That is the land of the Kasdim, and that's where I'm from. So everything adds up. So, but let's keep reading. 1 basket had very good figs, like the figs that are first ripe, first fruits. And the other basket had very spoilt figs, which could not be eaten. They were so spoilt. And Yahuwah said to me, what do you see, Jeremiah? And I said, figs, the good figs very good, and the spoilt very spoilt, which could not be eaten. They are so spoilt. Again, the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, thus said Yahuwah, the Most High of Yasharal, like these good figs, so do I acknowledge the exiles of Yehuda, whom I have sent out of this place for their own good into the land of the Kasdim. And I shall set my eyes on them for good, and shall bring them back to this land. And I shall build them and not pull them down, and shall plant them and not pluck them up. And I shall give them a heart to know me, that I am Yahuwah. And they shall be my people, and I shall be their mighty Most High, for they shall turn back to me with all their heart. And as the spoilt figs that could not be eaten because they are so spoilt, for thus said Yahuwah, so do I give up Zedekiah, the sovereign of Yehuda, his heads, and the rest of Jerusalem, who remain in this land, and those who dwell in the land of Mitzrayim. All those who dwell in the land of Mitzrayim. He's going to destroy that land. That's all part of Babel and Mitzrayim. He says, and like I've told you before, he speaks in literal and in parable. His word has multi-purposes. He said, come out of her before you partake in her plagues. Okay? How many times have we read that when they return to their land, they'll dwell in safety? We're in the latter days. You have to return to the land. And I shall make them a horror to all the reigns of the earth for evil, to be a reproach and a byword, a mockery and a curse in all the places to which I drive them. And I shall send the sword, the scarcity of food, and the pestilence among them, till they are consumed from the land that I gave to them and their fathers. So right here is the song of Moses. And if you go back and get context, baby, read chapter 31. It's all about returning to the land. Go do your own homework, Mish, and read the song of Moshe. And with that, I'm going to leave you, but I will leave you with iPet Goat 3. Let you check it out. Just because I know it's important to know what the enemy has in store, and keep in mind that they released this video in 2021, January of 2021, so that means they made it in 2020. Keep that in mind. I love y'all, Mishpachah. For now, peace out. Peace out. Hallelujah. Hua. All honor, all praise, and all glory. To who? Abba, Yah, Hua, the Most High, our wonderful Creator.